What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Awesome Nerd Show. Today we're looking at the Power Rangers Lightning Collection Zord Ascension Project Dragonzord. So this is figure Z0121 because it appeared in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Season 1, Episode 21, Green with Evil Part 5, which of course was the storyline that first introduced us to Tommy as the Green Ranger. And this is his Zord of the Dragonzord. And this is a nice, awesome Zord to go along with our Megazord that we already have. So I'm excited to check this out. Hopefully it'll be a little bit better quality than that Megazord was. But of course, we'll have to combine it with the Megazord to do their functionalities together and stuff. But overall, box-wise, looks pretty cool as usual, much like the first one did. So of course, down at the bottom, we have that logo with the Mighty Morphin and Dragonzord stuff there, of course, in their plastic-free packaging. But if we spin it around, we can see the Dragonzord there on the side. Of course, in what it's going to look like in all its glory there. Looks pretty cool. Around on the back, we have the figure itself. Of course, we can combine it with that Megazord to do the two versions there. Comes with the accessories. We have the little Green Ranger figures and different blast effects and stuff that go on with there. And on the side we have a nice animated picture of the Dragonzord there that looks awesome. And of course we have the sleeve on the front that we can slide off. And so there we have the Dragonzord's head there. So there we have like the Megazord head that we'll see in the battle mode. So that's pretty cool. And then the box is pretty much the same stuff there. And then we just have the big Z logo there for Zyuranger. That was the Japanese name of the season. But we can go ahead and slide the box out. And I missed it in the first one, or I went back and showed it, but I want to show it here first. So there we have a nice picture of the Dragonzord fighting with the Dino Megazord. So that looks pretty cool. Nice, awesome artwork, has the Z design in it there. So all that's really cool and just wanted to show that. And then we have the inside of the box. So we have this nice, awesome design of like the console of the Dragonzord. So we have the Dragonzord logo there, like the Power Coin logo, the head of the Dragonzord, and then Tommy's helmet there that matches along with it. So that's awesome. And with this, we can go and slide it out to see all the figures. I like the nice pearlescence on all that too. But then we have all the parts of the Dragonzord. So I assume in the center here is going to be our main body of the Dragonzord, which feels really light, which is kind of crazy. But let's pull him out. And I like with the plastic-free packaging that they add this like tissue paper stuff and they have logos and stuff. They put design into it so it has the Z logo once again. So there's our main body of the Dragonzord, and the gold is super shiny on this. It's like crazy how shiny it is, but yeah, it's super light. So that's one thing that's going to be crazy dealing with this, especially having the legacy versions that have the metal and stuff, that this being all plastic, it's so light, it's crazy. But we also have the instructions, so I have to look at that because like a lot with the first Dino Megazord, I missed a lot of stuff because they changed it from like the old Zords and stuff. So have to kind of look through that to make sure we do everything right. We have a packet that I assume are like accessories and stuff. So yeah, a lot of stuff dumped out here. So we have additional hands. So probably for when it's combined with the Megazord and stuff, we have a set of the all black hands. But then we have hands for this as well. So he's got the like little folded up hands there that are just kind of flat. But these ones we have sort of curled. So if we want to have those curled hands, or we have the hands with the missiles that are sticking out of the fingers so they look like long fingernails. So we have those missile hands there as well, which is cool. We get the missile effects. So we have these effects that can plug into the fingers. Of course, we'll have to do it later. But with these, they have the hole so you can just take and pop them right into there. And so we'll have the missile shooting out of the fingers. So it looks like I may be missing a piece. We're supposed to have two of these. I don't know if it just fell out or just like fell somewhere. I'm kind of looking around and I don't see it. But we have these for when it goes into the Ultra Zord mode. We have these that we can cap off with stuff. And we're supposed to have two, but I currently only have one sitting here. So I'll have to check around to see if I possibly missed it. But if not, I'll probably have to contact Hasbro about that. And then finally, we get our two little figures of the Green Ranger. So these were cool. And the last one, and of course, I didn't realize it till much later that mine were messed up. My Pink Ranger, I think, is in the wrong pose. But it looks like he's doing the right poses. So we have the Green Ranger using the Dragon Flute, and then him doing the pose there so he can like ride up on the Zord and stuff. So both of those look really cool. And of course, a shout out to the recent loss of Jason David Franks. Miss him a lot. So this video kind of goes out to him. Yeah, there we have our two little Green Ranger figures. And more inside the box, we have the stand for the staff. So when we do the staff again for being in like the battle mode. Oh, and there we do have the other piece. It was down in the box, so probably fell out of the packaging. And finally, in the other side, we have what I can only assume to be the tail in here. So yeah, there we have the tail. Nice details in this. I like that look a lot. So that looks like that's about everything. Again, with this Zord, since it's one single Zord and not like our Dino Megazord that had a bunch of stuff, that is all we have left. And I did notice in the old box, but just seeing here, I don't know if you can see it, but in the box here, there's a design of the Dragon Dagger. So that looks pretty cool. Again, hard to get it to focus in here, but you can see the Dragon Dagger like it's laid inside there. So that's really cool. Very awesome box design just overall. That's one thing I love about these is that they put the designs into it and stuff. So that is really cool. Well, let's look at the Dragonzord. And pretty much out of the box, it is mostly complete. So there's not much to it. So it looks like they have head fans a little bit sticking up there. So you can obviously adjust it and everything there. Looks nice with all the nice chrome. Obviously it's all plastic, but it's nice shiny chrome and stuff. So you can see the reflection in there and looks pretty awesome as well as the gold. So overall that looks pretty cool. But let's go and get it into the full dragon mode. So let's pull the arms out so you can pull them out like that. So it gets around the chest piece there. And then you can fold the arms down so they get the hands sticking out like that. So let's do that on both sides. So there they are sticking out fully there. And then we have the legs that look pretty complete. It doesn't really seem like there's anything wrong with them. Nice details and designs all over the body. Like look at that like scaling and stuff with the gold, just looks awesome. And I'm not really noticing like the paint's not perfect, like especially on here it looks like there's some fading between the gold and the green and stuff, but everything else looks pretty decent. Like I said, obviously paint jobs aren't 100% perfect, but overall it does look pretty good. Like I said, not really noticing anything major on any of this. Of course, we're missing the tail, so we'll take that tail piece and pop it on. So it looks like it has a design like you have this piece that you fold out there. So it looks like it kind of goes like this. So if you have it folded out there and then you can peg it in so it goes like that. So there's the tail complete. No, it's nice. It can move around and stuff. And of course the tails, yeah, with the old ones can kind of pop out segmentation wise. So you can get some like bend to it and everything. And of course the tail should spin and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. So that's pretty much the completed Dragonzord now that we have it all together there. So let's try the movements with the Dragonzord, just see what it does. So obviously the head fin moves back and forth. We've already looked at that. The head, I assume, yeah, the mouth can open. You can kind of see the head of the battle mode there. So the mouth can open up and close there. The arms can move around. Like I showed, this piece can kind of extend out there to get the arms out wider if you want to, but I always like to leave them in pretty close. And it looks like there's a little peg piece down here that it kind of pops into, which unfortunately I can't really get it to pop in there for some reason, like on either of these arms. So it has this little peg piece sticking out that could go into the hole. Can't really get that to fold in there, so don't know what's up with that. I'll have to mess around. But then the arms, we do have some movement so they can move up and down. The wrist can obviously twist all the way around and move a little back and forth. No waist movements or anything, but we do get the hips that can move back and forth, so the legs can move back and forth there, out a little bit as well, so we have some movements. We should have some knee bends. Yeah, the knees can bend back and forth a little bit there, so go back a little bit, so less than 90, but pretty decent. And then we have the feet as well that have some rocking back and forth and some twisting side to side, so that should help get you to be able to stand them up. They were real stiff, so I just had to pop them loose and made really loud noise, and it looks like there's some paint coming off the ball there, so probably painted all together. So just be careful with that. Don't want to break anything, but I'll have to get these loose. So pretty good movements overall there. And then again, the tail has some movements, so it can move back and forth with the joint, and then has all the segmentations to get the movements, so you can curl it around and stuff, and they can twist around and all that. So that's pretty much it for the Dragonzord. Like obviously there's not much to it, and of course just like with the past Dragonzords, we've pretty much the same. There's not much to any of them, but overall it looks really nice. Like I said, with the shininess and the details and everything, it just looks really nice, and it's super light. So that's the like craziest thing about it, especially if you compare it to the Legacy version here. So this one has a lot of metal incorporated, so this thing is super heavy. So this thing is like lifting up nothing compared to it. But overall, you can see the designs. Obviously the Legacy has the pale gold, not nearly as shiny. Overall, they're not much different height-wise and stuff. It's just a little bit shorter, but overall it feels like the function and overall it'll hold up a lot more, especially compared to this Hasbro one. Like, you know, afraid I already almost broke the legs and stuff there. But this one I feel with the weight and stuff can be a lot of hassle and stuff. So hopefully this new Hasbro one with the lighter weight will be able to function a lot better, especially for like the Ultra Zord and everything. So overall it just looks really cool just the way it is. Like I said, it's not perfect, but especially compared to the Legacy, it's not really that much wrong, and I like all the shininess and everything, so this thing just looks really nice. But before we do anything with the Zord itself, let's do some of the accessories. So first we have the little Tommy figures that we can take and set up there, so we can be setting up on the shoulders, so that's really cool. I love that it comes with these little figures so we can do stuff like that. That's cool. And then we have all the hands that I showed you, so let's go and just try and switch out the hands. So they just pop off the little joint there, and so we have this first set of hands that are actually quite difficult to pop on, but those are the ones just have like the curl around. So if you want to have it in this mode as like fighting and stuff, you can have the hands there for that. There we can have the hand with the missiles sticking out, so again it just looks like long fingernails or something, but there we could have the missiles, so again if it's in a fight with a monster they can shoot the missiles out. And then of course we have the missile effects that can come out of the hands, so let's switch the hands back. So back with those first original hands, we then have the effect pieces that we can stick into the end of them, so we can have the missiles shooting out, so we can pop them in on each side. So there's the missiles shooting out of the fingers, which is really cool. So that's one thing again I like about the Hasbros, they add these like effect pieces and stuff like that, so that looks really cool. That Legacy didn't come with stuff like that, but very cool that those missiles are shooting out, so that's really cool. But that's really all the Dragonzord can do. So obviously with this, you know, it doesn't really do much, doesn't really transform or anything like that, but it does combine with the Megazord. So we have two different forms. So we have the Dragonzord battle mode, in which it will combine with most of the Megazord, so we'll have to do that. And then we also have the Mega Dragonzord, so it can combine with the Megazord, and the Dragonzord just pretty much sits on top of it. So we'll have to do both of those. So here is the Megazord, so you can see just how big it is. So again, this is the Hasbro Megazord, so just how tall it is compared to the Dragonzord, which is kind of crazy how big that is. But we'll have to combine these two together. So for the battle mode from the Megazord, we need the Mastodon, Triceratops, and Sabertooth Tiger, so we can get rid of the Pterodactyl and the T-Rex Zord. So there we have the pieces all pulled off. So we just need these pieces to turn it into the battle mode. So we'll go and set these aside. side and rearrange the Dragonzord now. So for the Dragonzord, we need to get the arms folded up. So we'll just kind of curl the hands down and push the black piece up. May have issues with like stiffness and stuff of the joints, but get them folded back up with the hands in it there. So that's all you have to do with that. So get those folded up. And again, you're supposed to push these on, but I will have to, like I said, work and look at this and work on it to figure out how to get them exactly onto those peg pieces, but we'll just leave it there for now. And then we also need to pull the tail back off. So I already put it on, so we'll have to pull it off there. And then that should allow the Dragonzord to separate out. So we should be able to just pull it apart. Yeah, it seems like there's clips in there holding it together, and pull out the center piece there. So then of course, if we want to do the Mega Dragonzord mode, we didn't just sit this up on top of the Megazord, but we'll do that last. For now, we'll just combine these back together. So we have the clips and stuff that you could see there that were split in the center. So we have the clip pieces there that connect together to put it back there. And then we just take the arm pieces and fold them forward into a chest plate. So you have those two together, and there's a little clip in there that you can clip those two together. So there we have the chest plate on it. That looks really cool, all nice and shiny. So then for the legs, we have to lift the pieces up here. You have to kind of get a hold of them. So lift the little like thigh pieces or whatever. So lift them up there and then bend the legs completely back in. So I have to do that on both sides. So it leaves the feet out like that, which looks pretty funny. That design just looks like a little dinosaur there with its big feet sticking up. And as you see at the bottom here, it then reveals the peg pieces that we can clamp the legs onto. So I'll have to just fold these down. So then we take the legs from the Megazord. So we have the saber-tooth tiger, we'll pop it down on. So there it is there. And then we'll do the same with the Triceratops. So there is that. So there it has the legs now, so it can be standing up. And of course with that, it's really tall now. And then we just need to add the mastodon arms, very similar to the Dino Megazord. So we'll just kind of wrap it around. And then there's clip pieces up in here. There's all sorts of different holes and stuff. And then there's the clips inside the arms. So we just need to put it on the back and clip it around in. So there's the arms for battle mode there. And then we just got to reveal the face. So we can pull that piece down. So there's the face of the battle mode version. So it looks like the front of the box design there, which is cool. But then we've got to give it its weapon. So we got to use that staff piece. So we have to have the staff piece here. We also use the chest plate and the tail piece here. So I have to get this all together. So we have the chest plate. Just make sure this piece is folded out. And then there's this little section here on the back that we'll just grab a hold of and fold it out there to reveal the handle. So we have that piece. So then you can just take and stick it onto the staff. So you just have the peg and the hole there. So you just slide it down on top of it there. Now with the tail, you only need the upper 3 segments and the point. So you just grab on here and then just pop it out. So it separates like that. So it's just a ball peg piece there. So you take this piece and then you stick it on top of it here. So it becomes this big long staff here that we can now take and put into the hand. So it has the grip hand here, of course, from the Megazord piece. And we can just slide this down in here. So it sits in his hand like that. Of course, it's going to be big. So you got to get it placed right to where it's kind of leaning on the ground. So there we have the staff and it's all pretty much complete. So there we have our Zords ready now for battle in the Dragonzord battle mode. And then of course we do have these additional hands. So if you want to switch the hands out, so the ones from the piece there with these, if you want for better grips. So that looks pretty cool to have that all there together again, ready for battle. We could put the Mastodon shield piece in this if we wanted to, but just overall that looks really cool there in the battle mode. You can see it from the bottom all the way up, just how cool it looks there. So that looks pretty awesome there for the battle mode. But to make it the Mega Dragonzord, we of course have to put our Megazord back together and pretty much get the Dragonzord back together. So let me do that. So here I got the Megazord and Dragonzord back together. At least I did most of the Dragonzord. I didn't put the tail back on or fold the arms back out or anything, but we'll pretty much start and do the same thing. And again, we'll make sure the arms are folded in and we'll pop it apart to get the center piece out. So we'll just set this aside for now because it'll come back. And on the back of the head, you just want to make sure the fin's stuck up. And then there's a little like door piece thing here that folds down and it has a little clip piece in here. I'm afraid when we do this, probably with the Megazord, it has a good chance of possibly breaking, but I just fold that down there. But we want this pretty much all extended out. And then we do want to flip these little pieces on the side. So if we have it here, so this piece here on the left leg, we do want to fold these little notch pieces down. So it kind of hides them away like that. Then we want to open the thigh pieces again and bend the legs forward. And it looks like we pretty much want to have them like straight on about like that. So again, we'll do the same with this side. So get the door flap open here and bend the knees all the way forward. And then you want to fold the legs down. So right here, you just want to fold them down. So again, just grab this section and fold them down there. So there we have it sticking like this. So now it's ready to sit up on top of the Megazord. So we got to get the Megazord up here. And with this, we need to get the horns folded back. So just make sure they're folded all the way to the back. So just like that. And now we can set the Dragonzord up on top of it. So it just kind of fits down over the top. You may have to adjust some stuff to get it on here. Oh, and the shoulder pieces need to be folded down. I forgot to tell you that part. So fold that down and it just sits right on top here. And around at the back is kind of where stuff works. So with those head tail pieces from the Megazord, you can kind of fit them around back in here. So they kind of have this opening opening in the back with the door that flaps down. So you just have to try and get it positioned on here. And once you get it down enough, the little door piece flap that there connects down into the bottom. So it pops in like where the T-Rex tail was popping in. So you have to just try and get it positioned and popped in there. So once you get that connected, it's kind of what holds this all together. And then you just fold the tail back up to give it some support. And then on each side of the head, there's little peg pieces that stick down in. So you just have to kind of get those. And you can lift the body piece up a little bit and get it worked down in. And it kind of clicks in there. So with those two on the side and the connection piece there in the back, it kind of all fits together now. And then you can adjust the arm pieces and stuff off the side here to have them, you know, in the exact position and shape and stuff you want them. Obviously, you want to kind of have these just sticking flat out to the side. So kind of just like that. And of course, the Megazord's starting to get real shaky and stuff with the extra weight up on top of him. But then up for the top here where the hand pieces are, we have these little door pieces that we can stick on to hide it. So you just take these and clip them right in there and just kind of push them on until they stick. So they stick on just like that. So now it kind of looks more uniform and stuff and flat with the finger cannons. And finally, we can add some of the extra Dragonzord accessories. So we have like the chest plate piece here. We can spin this around and there's those pegs sticking out down here for like the legs and stuff. So we can take and pop this on. So it kind of sits on the bottom there like that. So it's just like an extra piece. And we can do the same thing on the other side with the Dragonzord tail, and it can pop onto the little nub. So if we fold this up there, has the little nub piece there, and we can stick this on there. So it can stick off the bottom there just like that. So there is everything now together. It looks kind of big with all the extra little pieces and stuff, like with the Dragonzord tail and the chest plate and stuff hanging down over here. And as I kind of figured with the Hasbro Megazord, you know, having issues with it standing up straight and all that, with adding extra weight on it kind of makes it even more off balance. But there is our Mega Dragonzord mode. So there's the Megazord with the Dragonzord up on top of it, all spread out. Of course, now we just need tightness to just stick them in to make the Ultra Zord, which would be really cool. But I think it looks real awesome. You know how nice we can add all the additional extra pieces like onto it and stuff. Like I don't remember being able to do that with the Legacy Collection one, but I still think it looks pretty cool. I know it's nice having the like extra little pieces up there that kind of hide that. I just feel it doesn't attach very well to the Megazord, but overall it looks really cool. It's nice, big, awesome piece and stuff here now. And like I said, I just wish it was a little more stable and stuff because I feel it could fall over at any minute, but it does look really cool. So that's the best part about this. But let me go and pop all the Dragonzord stuff off and we'll reassemble the Dragonzord. So here I have all the Dragonzord pieces together. Obviously, we need to pop the tail and the chest plate off. So there's the tail, and of course, have to reconnect it with the rest of our tail pieces, and then just slide the chest plate off. So for this, we'll go and just get the legs all straightened out. So go ahead and pop them back out and fold this piece down. So we get our legs back to normal. Do the same on this side as well. And then we can go and kind of readjust it to get it straightened back up here together. Of course, now we need to put in the center piece. So again, with the Dragonzord, everything's pretty much easy with this. So we just take the center piece here, make sure all the pieces are folded in, so all the little door flaps and stuff there. And then I just always take and stick it in the middle and then just kind of try to push it all back together. Oh, but we need to fold these little clip pieces out. I almost forgot about that. So there, now that those clips are back out, it'll go back together. But again, just pop this up in here, make sure all the things are out, folded up and out of the way. And then you can just kind of try to pop it back in together. So there, I just got it all clamped back together. So there we have our main body of the Dragonzord. Of course, we can get the arms folded out here and have to, of course, pop these pieces off. So they have a little like thicker piece here at the bottom you can just grab onto and pop them off and then get the fingers out. Okay, so I finally got the arms out. So it took forever because the joint that moves the actual arms back and forth, like the black piece in here, is real stiff on these. So trying to get the arms out was really hard. So I had to get a tool to grab the hands and get it up, pulling them out. And I still can't figure out how to get the pegs on here. Like I've even like looked at it real close and tried to get it lined up perfectly and push it on, and I can't get it too, so I don't know what the deal with that is. Of course, we still need to add the tail, so let's get the tail back on. So again, line the tail piece up with the section there, and it just pops right on. It adds some movement and stuff there, which is really nice. So there we have the Dragonzord all fully put back together now. That looks really cool. And of course, I almost forgot to do the cockpit piece. If we fold it up, we have the Green Ranger up in the cockpit piece. Of course, hard to see, but there he is just sitting up in there. So I just want to show that off too before I forgot that. But overall, there is our Dragonzord. So again, not much to it, you know, it's pretty just simple. Like I said, it doesn't transform or morph or anything like the other Zord, so it doesn't turn into its own individual Zord. It's just this mode or connected with others. So it doesn't really do a whole lot, but it does look really nice. Like I love the look and design of it. I like all the shininess and stuff and all the little details they put into it. Like I said, paint job overall is pretty nice, so that's better than the actual Megazord. But still have just some issues with this, with stiffness of joints and stuff. And like I said, with the hands getting caught and then all the like little peg clips and stuff. So especially dealing with it for the first time, you may need a couple little tools nearby and stuff to be able to help you work some stuff out. But overall, it looks really nice and cool just overall. So it'll be nice to add this to the collection with the other Hasbro Megazord. So pretty nice Dragonzord, and overall I would say probably an improvement over that Megazord. But let me know what you thought of the Dragonzord down in the comments, and if you have the Zord for yourself, let me know your opinions on it. And if you enjoyed my review, let me know with a thumbs up. And I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.